All right, it's working. This is the part, Arron, every morning where I'm like, okay, technology, it's up to you today. Like I'm passing it over.
It's out of my hands, out of my control.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So this is the stalling part where we wait for people to come and join us. So this is where we just drink extra coffee and hang out.
I love it. I had a struggle with my coffee today because I went to make it and my machine was making this funny sound and I realized we were out of beans.
Oh no.
I was like, of all the days, I need coffee today. And so that's the 9 a.m. start helps because I was able to run out, get more beans, stir
Yeah,
up a pot of coffee,
nice.
and
I
away we
have the
go.
exact same
But
coffee cup as you.
mm,
Not today,
they're
but I
so
do.
cute. I just,
Yeah.
yeah, I have a black one too. And I think that there's like a teal one out there. I was
Yeah.
just wandering. Sometimes I wander down like 17th and stop in all the little shops and whatnot. And I saw them and I was like, those are cute. And I like it because they're a wider base and they're short, so they still fit in my coffee machine.
Yes, but you still get a big
Yes.
cup of coffee.
You still get a
Yeah.
big cup of coffee, but you're not trying to finagle it to get under like where your pour spout is.
Yeah, no, I have the yellow one, the teal one, the pink one, and the dark blue one
Oh,
because
nice.
I'm obsessed with coffee mugs. Obsessed with coffee mugs.
Well, it
Um,
makes sense. You got a coffee club going. You got to
I know this
showcase
is
all your
my
different
second
mugs.
cup every day. Today I did Timmy's though. I did a Timmy's run before the show, and I like their new cold brew. I don't know if you've tried it.
I haven't tried it. I haven't tried it yet.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
I feel like I was very much, I always went out and grabbed my coffee on the way to work before the pandemic hit. And then when we were all at home, I was like, okay, I think it's time to invest in a good coffee machine. And so we
Yeah,
did. And now I find I rarely go out for coffee and I'm always
yeah.
brewing up coffee at home now.
I know, and I got a milk frother and stuff for at home. I think we all invested in our coffee systems through COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got one of those. I got one of those Brevils that can make like oat milk lattes in the morning.
I
It
wanna
can
come to
make
your
like,
house for coffee.
yes, you got to come
Yeah.
on over for coffee, Jody. Do it
Now that
live
we can be fast friends, it's gonna happen. So,
or cocktails.
good
I
morning,
mean,
Sue. Yeah. Jim, Buffalo, New York's in the house. Hi, Jen. Good to see you. Long weekend. It's exciting. Well, we will get started. As you join Coffee Club this morning, please say hello in the comments while you join us. We get to welcome, it's Fun Friday, so we get to welcome another brand new friend into the group. So I'm really excited to introduce to you Arron Dobson. Arron, thanks for coming to hang out with us today.
thanks for having me, Jody. I'm excited to be here and to join Coffee Club this morning.
Well, and it's fun. The thing that I'm loving the most about Coffee Club of late is I'm getting brand new people in my life also that have been joining. So lots of times I was introducing people to people that I knew, but lately I've had the opportunity to meet lots of new people. And I think you and I've only met in person once, really briefly. And I was like,
Yeah.
hey, you should come on my show because I love your stuff.
And I
And
was
I'm
like,
just
that sounds
thinking
great.
about that. Good morning, Kelly. So, what we're going to talk about with Arron today, if you've been following along my social media, I've been posting over the last few months these really cool looking cocktails. And it makes you feel so fancy because you think about all these fun cocktails, but most people don't. We don't know how to make them or where to even look. Or if you look up the recipe online, you don't actually understand what some of the ingredients are. And so Arron has created a company based out of Calgary called Cocktail Club. And it's basically, I'll get you to explain it because you'll do it way better than me, but it's like a monthly subscription to cocktails.
That's
Brilliant.
exactly what it is. Thanks, Jody. And I love your passion. I love that you've been following along and trying them out and sharing them. So that means so much to me as a new startup and business owner. But yes, Cocktail Club, first and foremost, I would say it's intended to be a unique at-home experience. That's really what we're trying to provide to people is an opportunity for folks to shake up their nightly routines and to make the most of their hard-earned evenings, all while enjoying a really delicious cocktail. And so I actually brought a box just to show and demo what it is and what you get with
Yes.
Cocktail Club. But yeah, as Jody mentioned, it's a monthly cocktail subscription box. And so each month we come out with a feature cocktail. We like to be a little cheeky and keep it a surprise, but we do drop hints along the way about what alcohol you're going to need to have on hand or what flavors are going to be in the cocktail. So if it's not your vibe, you can easily opt out. But we hope that people, take the leap with us and come along for the ride to enjoy the feature cocktail. But in it, essentially, what you get is that this will arrive at your door once a month. We aim to have it there for the fourth Friday of the month, so you have it in time for the weekend. And then when you open it up, you're always going to have a little recipe card, and we photograph what the drink is and what your drink could or should look like and what you're aspiring to create. And then on the back of the card, we tell you a little bit about the drink, give you a little story and setting for it, which I love because it kind of sets you in the vibe for when and where to have the drink, for some ideas and options. And then we give you the ingredients that you need, the method to make it. But we also share a little QR code here. Whoops. Oh, and there I dropped my cocktail box. We also share a little QR code here that will tell you, it's an instructional video. So our chief mixologist will actually take you through making the cocktail on a video and give you extra tips and tricks, as well as kitchen substitutes if you don't have the proper bar tools at home so that everybody can make the cocktail. And then we also do a custom curated feature playlist. So in Spotify, you just search it up and we give you a playlist that is themed to the cocktail that we make so that it kind of sets the vibe and gives that full encompassing experience as you're making your cocktail. So for like our chai whiskey sour that we did, it was like a 1930s jazz club vibe. We did like a tiki Polynesian playlist for our Mai Tai. And so yeah, a lot of fun kind of experience setting things that go along with the cocktails. But I dropped my cocktail box if you give me a moment. But what you also get,
it's like,
which
just come back, peekaboo. Yeah.
just picking it up. What you're also going to get, and as you spoke to earlier, is some of the stuff that's hard to find or hard to make at home. And that's really what we're trying to do, is to take the friction point out of having a good cocktail at home. So you're going to get your syrups. And so in our chai whiskey sour, it was a chai syrup that's going to go along with it. You get bitters, right? Which is nice because bitters go a long way. But like something like this will make you like 20 drinks on average in terms of the bitters. But if you go and experiment in the store and buy that, you're buying a big bottle and it can be pricey and you may not know what to do with it afterwards, right? But you're going to get your bitters that go along with it. And we only partner with Canadian brands. So these are all Canadian-based syrups and bitters companies. In our chai whiskey sour box, you also got a vegan foamer to help you create that frothy feel that you get in a whiskey sour. And we provide the garnish. So this one was a pink peppercorn. We've also done stuff like mint and dill and a lot of fresh and herbs that go along with kind of bringing your cocktail alive and all the aromatics that go with it. And then your fresh citrus. So I would say fresh citrus is kind of one of the key ingredients to make a quality cocktail at home. And so everything you need, you just got to supply your own preferred spirit. So we'll give you kind of hints about what spirit should go in the cocktail and what we recommend. And also then knowing there's so many different types, try to point you in the right direction based on different flavor profiles you may be trying to achieve. So again, in our whiskey sour, people that want a creamier, sweeter taste of their whiskey sour, we're telling them to go in the direction of getting a bourbon, versus if you want more spice or heat and you want to taste more of the whiskey, go with a rye whiskey. But kind of like all the tips and tricks that you need to make a professional level cocktail at home.
Yeah. And it's so fancy. And I'm going to say, I feel like you guys really won me over on having the playlist portion, because I think that was just, I mean, I'm a really music-based person, obviously, but it was such a nice addition to the whole experience when you were putting it all together. And the videos are so easy and the recipes are easy. And it's ended up being like this really fun night where you get to make them. It's a whole experience. You're putting it together. And I found with July's, I was just like, really? Dill? We're going to put dill with apricots? Did they lose their minds? But it was so cool. It was so like it was delicious, but I
Yeah.
would have never, like if I was to see that drink on a drink menu at a place, I don't think I would try it, to be honest. So that's the cool
Yeah.
thing about this club, I think, is you're gonna like honestly, don't opt out. Force yourself to try the something new because it was really good.
I love
And I
that. And yeah, I think that's one of the benefits that we're really trying to get people to be a bit more adventurous, right? It's only once a month that you're opting in, like to try something new and to experiment with different flavors that would go together. I think our mixologist, she's so fabulous and she's done such a wonderful job at pulling together such unique recipes that you wouldn't just, it's not something you're just going to look up on an internet and be like, it's a cosmopolitan or it's trying different cocktails that you would find at like a high end cocktail lounge that you may not otherwise try or put together, but she does it in a really approachable format where it's 5 or 6 steps and anyone can mix it up and pour it in, and away you go.
Yeah. Well, and I think what's neat too that I thought was unique about your whole concept with it is the alcohol doesn't come with the packaging. So one, you can have the choice of that, and then you can choose how much you're putting in. But you could also, I think honestly, opt out of the alcohol portion if you wanted, and you could mix it with lots of other things like soda waters or different fun things, but you still can and capture the flavor fusions that you guys have created into something just different, so if you're someone
Yeah.
who chooses not to drink or whatever, it's just there's really cool options with it. It seemed so open to me that I was like, oh my gosh, these people are brilliant.
For sure. I mean, you don't have to have the alcohol component with it. So part of the idea of not having the alcohol with it is one, just making it more, I think,
Awesome.
affordable and approachable for everybody. So from the perspective, it's meant to use whatever you have on your shelf at home, right? You have, a bottle of tequila that you have no idea what to do with, right? Or you have gin that maybe you tried once and you don't know what to do with the rest of it, so you can have what you have on your shelf at home, and or you can go to the store, you can get anything in your price point, you're going to buy a bottle, it's going to last you multiple boxes,
Yeah.
and it could be that opportunity to be like, I've been meaning to try this, but I don't know what to do with it, right? So it gives you that opportunity to also experiment with different brands and also things that are within your price point.
Yeah.
And all that's going to change, the cocktail that you're going to get on the other end. But from the mocktail perspective, you can also do that, right? You can mix it with soda waters. A lot of them, the majority of them, you'll be able to make into a mocktail because there's so much flavor that comes through the citrus and the fresh herbs and the bitters and syrups that if you're substituting, your spirit like a vodka or gin, whatever it may be, for soda water, you're still going to get that same fun cocktail without the alcohol component. And there's actually, to be honest, there's alcohol alternatives that are coming out now that you can substitute
Yeah.
for. So I don't know if you would have heard, there was one in Canada, I think it's based out of BC, it's called Lumet. And then there's also one that's coming out of the US that you're starting to see in stores now, such as like a Vine Arts or some of the specialty stores. It's called Seedlip, and they're alcohol alternatives so that you still get the cocktail, but in a mocktail version. And so those are also great alternatives if you're at a point where you're not wanting to drink or wanting to have, but still want to have like a fun drink at home without having the alcohol that goes along with it.
Yeah. Or if you have the whiskey sour package and they're like, those were strong. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I could have a second one without being laid right out. Like, I don't know.
But that's the thing.
Maybe my bartender just mixed it really strong. I don't know, but
So most of the cocktails are like they call for 2 ounces, some of them like 1 3/4. But
yeah,
that's another thing is that you really have the flexibility, try along for the first one, experiment with it, and then you can go from there. You can be like, okay, I want a little less whiskey in mine, right? You can put a little
yeah,
less whiskey, or I want to taste more of, the pineapple. So I'm going to add an extra dash of bitters in there. And you really have the flexibility to
yeah,
play around with it. We're really just giving you the guidelines as a starting point, and then you can kind of mix it up from there.
yeah. Oh gosh, I know. I said from July's, I was like, I want more of the apricot in the next one because that syrup is it's to die for. I could
It's
drink it.
delicious.
Well, maybe not, but yeah, it was so good.
I'm
So
so
where
I'm
did
so
the
happy you liked
concept
it.
come from for you? Like, where did you brainchild this?
Yeah. So I would be lying if I didn't say this was part of a COVID pandemic baby idea. And it was June of 2019. So take us back to the start of the pandemic. And I was at a point where we've been locked down for a couple of months, and like one day kind of turned into the next. Things were getting a little monotonous. And I was like, I just miss date nights is where it came from. So my partner and I, that's what we would do for our date nights is that we would go to cocktail lounges and cocktail bars in Calgary. And we loved the whole idea of the experience of it. We'd like to sit at the bar, watch them make the drinks, listen to the music, enjoy them, try different things that we wouldn't otherwise. We're like, that looks interesting. I'm going to give that a try and swap. And that's what we did for our date nights. And so a couple of months in, I was like, I miss that. And I miss just having a really good cocktail at
Yeah.
home. And so I actually went online to try and see. I'm like, there has to be someplace where we can order cocktails. Let's do a date night in. And at the time, you couldn't. So this was before restaurants had pre-bottled them and were doing like pre-order cocktails to go. There was nowhere that you could get a cocktail to go. And so that kind of just started the wheels turning, being like, how is this not a thing? I can't be the only one that wants to have good cocktails at home, right? And so one thing led to another, and then a year later, here we are.
Here you are. Well, and
Yeah,
I have to compliment the whole bit. I don't know if it becomes in the appreciation of it, but like your packaging is perfect. Your photos are perfect. Like the way you've encapsulated the whole thing is just it's like spot on. I feel like even
I
when
love.
you just open the box, you're having an experience with it. Like you've thought all the pieces through. So way to go on that because it's like it's so beautiful.
I love that. That means so much to me because, again, it brings it back to the whole concept is that when we went down this path to start this business, it wasn't just to give somebody a cocktail, it was to give them an at home experience. That's really what we're trying to do through the art of cocktail creation. And so that's where the packaging idea came from is that I want someone to be excited about this from the minute they get this box at their door, right? I want it to look beautiful for them. I want them to open it up and I want it to be beautiful. And, all of our photographs are taken in-house by my business partner, Dave. He's so talented. None of them are stock images. They're all things that he creates in his kitchen that anybody can create. So your drinks can really look like that. And it's just, as you said, with the music, like what's the first thing I do when I go to turn on, like when I go to make a cocktail before this was, or even to cook, it's like you turn on a playlist, right? You turn on music, you get in the mood. And so it was trying to think through how do we provide people a full at-home experience. Um, and so I'm so happy that that's translated and it's come across to you.
Yeah. So I'm going to put your website up here. So it's really easy for people to find, go. And so it's just cocktail.club. You don't need
That's it.
any of the other things you see on other website addresses, just cocktail.club. That's it.
Yeah, that is the URL. So yeah, there's no .com, no .ca. I know some people have had a challenge trying to find us because we're not up on the first Google page yet because we are still new. We've only been out for 2 months, but it is cocktail.club. So thank you for clarifying that, Jody.
A nice, easy visual. So where do you, I know we've got a few people asking in the comments if you ship to the US and where do you ship to Canada, sort of what does that look like?
Yeah, so right now we ship across just Western Canada and the major cities across Western Canada. We do have a postal code app in there. So if it comes up that we don't ship to you, please reach out. We do have to, at this point, kind of manually enter in the postal code. So we may have just missed you. And it's the reason being is that we offer free shipping. And so right now we are limited to Western Canada, but we have had a couple of people that have ordered outside and they just paid the additional shipping on top. So we've done a few corporate events too. So we've done like Starbucks executive team and we shipped to the US for them, Toronto, etc. But they just had to pay the additional shipping on top. So if that's something you're interested in, by all means, but we do offer free shipping for everywhere in Western Canada.
Yeah. And I mean, goodness gracious, friends, it's like $30.
Yeah.
Like that's it. The packaging looks like it should be 99. I'm not gonna lie, but maybe if it had the alcohol in it. But it's such a great price point for if you think you're replacing a date night or a girlfriend night or a whatever for $33. That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, again, with that whole experience, we just want to make it, approachable for everyone, right? Everyone deserves to, make the most of their evenings and to do something fun and to make some memories and connect with their friends and families. So it's something that we're trying to make affordable and approachable for everyone, so that people can have a chance to kind of get creative and spark some flair into their evenings.
And you know what I think it would also be really cool is it would be a great thing to send to someone. Like instead of like for a birthday, I don't know if this is doable or not. Maybe I'm coming up with a bad idea for you, but I think like instead of sending flowers or chocolates for an occasion, like can you send them a cocktail box?
Yeah, so we currently have people. So I have someone that has sent it as a wedding gift. I have someone that has bought it for like their team. They've signed up for like each of their members of their team for like a corporate gift. And that's something that we're actually working on now. So our web developers, as we speak, are working on it, and it'll
Mhm.
be launched for the fall. But there is going to be a gift. So you can gift a 1, 3, 6, 12-month cocktail subscription, and gifting somebody an experience, right? And so it'll come with like a message you can send them, and you can pick the date on when they're going to receive it. And they'll have their own little portal that they can go into where they can control their gift subscription. So if someone is saying, for example, like, I'm not into gin, I'm going to skip this month, or I'm allergic to pineapple, I'm going to skip this month. But it is something that's coming. You can do it now, but come the fall and definitely for the holiday season, we will have full gifts up and running. And I think, who doesn't love to gift or receive an experience, right? The gift that keeps on giving.
Exactly. Well, you get multiple cocktails from the one box, so it's not like you're paying the $30 and you're only going to get a drink for you and whoever you're sharing the cocktail with. You can actually make multiple. Like I've seen
Yeah,
some where like people have done up to 8 drinks from the box or whatever. Like
yeah.
you get a great bang for your buck, for lack of a better term. Yeah.
Yeah, so we do say 4 plus drinks because it is going to vary by recipe. But so far, everyone I think has been able to get 6 to 8 drinks out of it. Like the bitters that come in, like these are going to last you about 20 drinks. And so that's part of it, is that we want people to have more access in the end so they can continue to play and experiment, um, and can kind of continue to, yeah, play around and create new drinks that they want to at home while they wait for their next box to come in. And so you will not be scrimping for any for any ingredients. And yeah, so yeah, we do get multiple drinks that come with it. And then there's always the option too, if people want to, if they like it and they want to continue to invest in it. We just got bar tools that are up on the website, so people can start to stock their bars with the tools that they need. And glassware, we just released glassware this week. So again, if you wanted to get fancy, some people are starting to want to share all their cocktails on social media. And so we start to have the glassware if they want to get the fancy glassware that goes with it, because in them we well recommend what traditional glass where it typically comes in, whether it's like an old fashioned glass or a coupe or a Nick and Nora, etc. And of course, your drink's going to taste the same in whatever glass you make it in. But if you want to go down that path, then that's also an option, or things that you can tack on to a gift if you're gifting to someone.
Yeah, which I think is really cool. And this to me is the perfect example. At the beginning and sort of in the middle of COVID, we had a lot of conversations around that. I was like, wait for what is going to bloom from this time frame. You know, people are going to come up with creative ideas and launch new things. And I've been waiting to hear these kinds of stories. And so when I got introduced to what you are doing with Cocktail Club, I was like, here's a perfect example of these really great things that have incubated during kind of a shitty time, but it's transformed into something so awesome. So I love that you've just ran with it. And three cocktails in, are you find it's like growing and gaining popularity, and it's just starting to like your baby's becoming like bigger?
Yeah, so it's funny. So it is. So that's definitely what we're focused on now is like just trying to get it out there and through word of mouth. We have doubled in size since we launched 2 months ago, so it's good. And I think, what I'm so happy about is that people seem to genuinely enjoy the cocktails. We were using a delivery service to deliver previously, but I decided to deliver Calgary's cocktails. This past month. And it was such a positive experience for me to get to connect with people, to hand them their cocktail boxes and to see their reactions. And some people being like, this is my I wait for this. This is my favorite package of the month. And somebody was like, it feels like Christmas every month. I love getting this box. And to see that people are actually they're enjoying it, they're loving the experience, that they're sharing with others. Most of our growth has all come from word of mouth. Has been just very encouraging for us, and just love that we're putting out a product and an experience that people are really enjoying. And so that's really what it's all about.
Okay. Now I know you normally do teasers in the month, but because you're kind of having this exclusive experience with us, can you give us like, I don't know if you want to outright tell us what's coming in August, but can you give us a big teaser if not? Because you've
So yeah,
done,
so
so like the first month was the
yeah, I
chai
have.
whiskey sour and then
Hmm.
the Mai Tai, which was so good.
Yeah, so
And
we
then
had the Mai Tai.
what was last month was you called it sunrise something, right?
Sunrise in Summerland.
Summerland.
Yeah, because and that was the apricot dill one based out of like what we would imagine living in mainland BC would be like with the stone fruits and the fresh cut grass. And
Yeah.
so August, I'm not gonna lie, August is one of my favorite cocktails in our lineup for 2021.
Yeah.
It is a based drink, and it's gonna have the flavors. You're gonna have fresh lemon. There's lavender and peach and thyme that's coming in there, and it's one of my favorites. I feel like I could drink a million of them, and I'm super excited. I'm super excited about the August box to come out, and it's going to be very much more of like a whimsical, upbeat playlist that's going to go along with it. So I'm excited for everyone to get to try August cocktail.
Yeah. All right, Heather, if you're still watching, it will be delivered the last week of August. So that will be when I'm with you in Kelowna. So let's order some boxes for the Kelowna trip. Yeah.
Yes. But that's another thing that I love. People have started taking their boxes. We've had people take their boxes camping with them.
Yeah.
Someone's on a van trip and they've taken, somebody messaged me and said, when is it coming? I'm going up to my cottage. And so that's another thing. In the small little box, people are taking them with them on their adventures. And I love that. It's like something you can easily whisk away for a girls' trip or wherever you're going and be able to kind of shake it up.
Yeah.
So that's
So
fun. Yes.
social media wise, if people want to check you out also there, you're on Instagram and Facebook?
Yeah, so Instagram primarily, and that is we are cocktail.club is where you can find us on Instagram. And then it's similar for Facebook. We are cocktail.club, although I think there's an S on that one.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw that in the chat.
Perfect.
Instagram.
But yes, primarily we post the majority of our stuff through Instagram, including all of our teasers and what's to come.
Cool. Okay. Well, this has been really fun. I'll be conscious of everybody's time on a Friday morning going into a long weekend, but I'm feeling like it's cocktail time and it's still only 9:30, but that's okay.
That's what Caesars and mimosas are for.
Exactly. It has been so fun to connect with you today, Arron, and learn about it. And just congratulations on taking this fun idea to the next level. Like I think lots of times we have these really cool ideas, but we don't always leap with them. And you took that leap, and I'm so glad because it's such a fun addition to people. So it's just really cool, and I hope lots of people will check it out. And it's gin for August, so I'm so excited.
Yes. Thanks so much, Jody. I appreciate that. And thanks so much for having me on Virtual Coffee Club. It's been fun. And yes, I can't wait. I can't wait for you to try out August Cocktail.
Yeah. And I just can't wait to hear the playlist. And so in the future, if you ever need playlist help, you know where to find me.
Yeah, perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
I have
think
idea.
my
Okay, I'm
favorite
gonna pick your brain on some of the upcoming ones.
Okay, please do. But I loved July's playlist. It's one that's nice, I think, too, with that is that's a playlist I want to save in my Spotify and play all the time. Like I loved that. It was just such a
Okay, me too.
relaxing, great mix. So it was really fun. So awesome. Okay, well,
Um,
Erin, I'm gonna let you
Thanks so
get back to
much.
your long weekend fun, and everybody else have an amazing rest of your Friday. We will be back Monday morning with Coffee Club at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Have a great long weekend, everybody.
Thanks.